Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be working on modifying the roads here in the Lego City. So let's get started. Alright, so when I say modifying the roads, I don't mean like what I did just the other day here. This was a pretty major change for the city, but what I'm referring to today and what we're going to be focusing on is actually this section right here. So I made this a while ago, and the idea behind it was that it would be a little bit of parking for the train station right here. But I got a lot of comments on it because I wasn't sure how I wanted to do the lines in between the spaces, and if I wanted to have a spot for bikes, or if I wanted to put that in the middle, or if this should just be a pull-in and to drop people off essentially. So I asked you guys what it should be, and a lot of you guys said that it should actually just be a pull-in. That would make it a lot easier. I wouldn't have to worry about the lines, and so that would just kind of solve most of my problems, I think. So I think that's probably the best way to go. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So let me remove all the details and then we can get started. All right, so all the details are removed, and so pretty much what I'm going to do now is, I actually already started over here, but I'm going to rip up all of the sidewalk extenders throughout here, because I'm actually going to move it over by 8 studs so that it's centered between this crosswalk and this one here. So I had to move this one just the other day, and so now this little pull-in here is off center, so I want to move it 8 studs that way so that there's 8 studs in between this walkway and the start of this, and the end of this and this walkway or crossing here. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to rip all this out, and then I'm going to probably have to remove some of the other mills plating as well around the edge here. But I have to move it over 8 studs, and then we can rework the mills plate, and then we can add all the details back in. All right, so I pretty much just removed all of the 8x16 road plates that were in there, and so now I just have to move all of it over and pretty much redo the underlying plate, because as you guys can see, the road plates in my city sit on a base plate and then a plate and then the road plates themselves. So I have to go in and pretty much redo that, but now it won't be overlapping base plates, because how it was before, the road plates that were on the edges here were on each half of the road, half and half on each base plate here. So now I can actually just have this base plate be a completely different section, and then the 3 road plates would be on this one, and then the final one would be here. So that actually works out a lot nicer. That was not intentional before I started today's video. That just kind of worked out like that. So I'm pretty happy with that, though. I think that's actually probably the best way to go about this, just because this section here, if I ever need to move it, this is its own thing. This will be its own thing, and then this will be its own thing, because everything else on these plates here are their own sections. Like all the track disconnects, the train station modules are their own sections as well. This is from the other side, right on the edge here. But these are their own sections, and so it makes it a lot easier to move the base plates if I ever need to move them. So this actually works out a lot nicer. So let me add it back in, and then we can see how it all looks. All right, so this is what it's looking like right now, and so I do just need to fill in this 8x8 gap here. And actually, this is an 8x16 and 2 4x8, so I could make this a 16x16 if I wanted to. I do have, I think, 1 or 2 extras laying around, so that might be the way to go for this area here, just so I don't have to make a whole section of smaller plates here. I can just use the 16x16 and kind of just call it a day. And everything else over here is pretty good. These are all 16x16s here, and then that's a 16x16, and each of these are. And then the smaller plates are used down here, where I couldn't fit the full 16x16 plates. So this actually is working out a lot better than I thought it would. So I just need to fill that in, and then I need to figure out how I want to do the sidewalk around here. I am going to have one, although I don't know if I want to make it 2 studs wide like this, or maybe just 1 stud, just to kind of give a little bit of extra space for the cars that are pulling in here. So that's kind of what I'm working with right now. I don't have any extra 2x4 tiles, unfortunately. These are just bending because I did not put support in the middle of them. I only put support on the corners. So yeah, so that's why these are bending, but when you press on the corners, there is no issue there. So I don't have any extra 2x4 tiles, so if I do end up putting some in here, either in this episode, either in this video or a future one, then I'm gonna have to steal from other parts of the city until I buy some more. So that is where I'm at right now. But hopefully I can get that. Well, this will be the next thing that I tackle, and then hopefully I can figure something out for this area here that I like. So let me take a crack at that, and then I'll show you guys how it all looks. All right, so I added the 16 by 16 plate in here, and I've been working out the kinks on trying to figure out how to make this whole area work, because let me see if I have an extra 1x6 tile here. This whole line here, I want it to be kind of a seamless transition between, like changing directions. And so I don't want it to look really chunky down here when you have all of the 2x2 tiles and all of that stuff in here. So I want this to look good. I don't want it to look kind of jagged. So what I've been kind of just making mock-ups of over here is actually how it could look with these pieces instead. So these are relatively new pieces, and I bought them on Bricks and Pieces recently, and I've been loving them. They are really awesome. I actually used them in the train station, the tile design in the main interior there. And so I think they're really awesome, and so I'm actually trying to use them in here because I think that could give me a little bit of just pretend that this is also light gray, obviously. But I was thinking maybe I also add one here, and then that would kind of it's a lot easier to explain this when these would be light gray instead of the dark gray, but then I would put this like that there, and then this one would actually be dark gray, and then these two here would be light gray. So then the light gray would match up with the border around the sidewalks like this, and then the rest of it would be dark gray. And I think this could actually look really good. So let me try and add a couple of tiles in here just to kind of show you what exactly I mean. And I don't know if this will accurately get my point across, but this is kind of what I'm going for, and I'm actually quite happy with this, so I might end up rolling with this. I would just need to purchase some of these in light gray because I only have a handful in dark gray. I only bought enough for this plus a few extras just to tinker with, and so I'm going to need to buy some in light gray if I do decide to go with this, but I think I like the kind of flow of this better than I do with this, because with this piece here, it's kind of stepping with each stud, which I don't love. Whereas this, it has the angle on the outside, and it also has the angle on the inside. Again, pretend that these two sideways pieces are in light gray, and then this one is obviously going to stay in dark gray. But I quite like this, actually. I think this looks good. And so let me do a little bit more work over here. But overall, I think I'm actually pretty happy with this. So I did also steal a couple of 2x4 tiles from around the city just to place them in here to get kind of an idea of what this is going to look like. But I'm quite happy with this. I think this looks pretty good. And so let me do a little bit more work on it, and we'll see how it looks. All right, so this is what the area looks like now, and I am still missing a couple 1x4s for the edge of the sidewalk here, but that's fine. I should have some more, so I just have to grab them, but and then also a 1x1 tile for this end as well as that end. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I am actually much more happy with this than I was with the previous version of this when we had started this video here. And the cars can come in and they have enough space to drop someone off, and then they can keep going. I know it's not entirely realistic because it's on the left side of the road here, and it would make more sense if the road went this way so then the passenger could just get out and go instead of having the sidewalk be on the driver's side. But this is what we're rolling with here. I want the streets to go a certain way, and they're all one-way streets, so this is just kind of what we're working with right now. But I'm happy with this. This looks good to me. I'm happy with how this is all starting to shape up here. So on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this pull-in and what you guys want to see changed, if anything at all, make sure to drop a comment down below. And once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.